Hello dogs, hello dogs, hello dogs! Welcome to the tier list. So I have played several games over the course of this year, and when I was trying to go to sleep a few days ago, maybe one or two, I saw a very peculiar Ask Reddit post, which I have right here actually, and never put into the actual document. So I saw a particular Reddit post, I said, right here, by FreakNugget911, which says, You are suddenly teleported to the last video game you played, show you watched, or book you read. How hard would it be to make a grilled cheese sandwich in that universe? And that got me thinking. That actually got me thinking that much, to the point of where I actually got no sleep that night, because I got up and started planning for this stream right now. I started making the nice little sandwich assets we've got over here on the side. I've started making... Well, you can go. I've started making this thing. Oh, scuffed there. So, can you make a sandwich? I've got my little bucket worth of games here. That is a bit locked right now. I want to shake it, but it'll do. And today we are going to be rating all the games I've played this year that at least I've documented in some way. Because I do this thing, right? Like, I've got an Excel document of like, I only started doing it this year, but like, it's been a lot of fun. I've got like this Excel document where like I just put in what game I've played, like a few notes on it, like my thoughts on it, like completion level / rank for like multiplayer games, and then like just the like how active I am in them and like what the trend is. So if it's a green game, it means that I'm very much actively playing it. If it's an orange game, it means that I may play sometime, but like I'm still considering myself playing this game, but like I'm not playing as much. And then we've got red games, which is like, I may play this sometime soon, maybe. And then you've got black games, which is like just straight up dead. For now, at least. I've also got like a bit of a tab to like keep track of like when about, so I can play this game. These games even. God, my tablet has so much dust on it. Haven't brought this out since the Lucas stream. Oh, I actually made a clip of that. You should check out the video channel. So I will do some hydration ASMR and we'll get right to the tier list. So remember to hydrate. It's summer, it's very hot, you will die. The water was warm. The water was warm. That was not a good hydration. So, without further ado, we should probably establish what a sandwich is. Because if we don't establish what a sandwich is, like a lot of stuff can be a sandwich. So, according to the definition of a sandwich, let me actually bring it up right now. The definition of a sandwich is an... Where's my colors? Ah, there. So, the definition of a sandwich is an item of food consisting of two pieces of bread. We have like 2 pieces and bread here, with a filling between them, eaten as a light meal, a light meal. So, a burger is not a sandwich. I'm running out of space. A burger is not a sandwich because a burger is not a light meal. It's not exactly a heavy meal, but it's a medium towards heavy. So, which means it's not a sandwich. However, 2 pieces of bread, it doesn't say 2 separate. It doesn't say 2 separate pieces of bread. So, it can be like a piece like that and a piece like that, and the filling. This is bread, by the way. This is bread, and then like this is the filling in between. So it doesn't have to be 2 separate. It doesn't have to be 2 separate pieces of bread. Okay. which by that definition means that like a piece of bread, kind of like that, with things in between. So this whole thing is bread, and this is the filling inside. To a single piece of bread that is kind of warped around the filling is still two pieces of bread, because like you have two sides here. You've got one side here of bread. I just realized I accidentally drew a penis. Cool. So, a hot dog is a sandwich. I've also read like some definitions that like I think it was the California state in America, they count wraps as a sandwich. So like all this. Now, because sandwiches are two pieces of bread, not separate pieces, but two pieces of bread, and not four, which is like all the side angles here, I will not be counting wraps as a sandwich. Wraps are not a sandwich, neither are burritos, neither are quesadillas, neither are what other things dairy that actually like I don't have strong opinions on a lot of stuff, but like food opinions, I will fight you to the death for them. And if there's any other Greek person in here, and you dare put tzatziki in fucking gyros pita, I will hunt you down, and I will take out all the tzatziki from your pita bread, from your gyros, you know? And then I will kill you. Don't you dare do that shit. So, now that we've decided what a sandwich is and what a sandwich isn't, let's just take all that to the side and let's start rating them. So, first off, we've got Sifu, the martial arts game that honestly I shouldn't really lead up to it that much. Martial arts game, you fight stuff. Important thing to note here is Sifu is set in our world. There is nothing to prevent you from making a sandwich on current day Earth. So Sifu goes on S tier, because you can make a damn good sandwich on Earth right now. You can go buy some ingredients, you can go grab whatever you want from like your local supermarket. Doesn't matter if you're like trying to avenge your grandpa or anything in the middle of like just fighting like the martial arts mafia or whatever with superpowers and whatnot. Like you can go to you still have to eat. You can go to your local supermarket, get some ingredients, make a sandwich. Next. Oh boy. Golfy. Alright, I should also probably mention, I'm counting these as making a sandwich in universe, as a character in that universe, assuming they know what a sandwich is. So like, if it's a universe without the concept of a sandwich existing, we'll just assume that it exists and go from there. Now, if you can make a sandwich or not in that universe, that's an entire different thing. But yeah, Golfy, a roguelike deck builder where you play as a ball. A roguelike deck builder golf game, I should add, where you play as a goal and you have to reach, you know, the hole. So, a few things here. One of them is that you're kind of floating through, like, I don't even know, hyperspace or something. Just across shattered lands. There are vending machines, but they don't have any food stuff in them. There's nowhere to actually grow the sandwich. The levels have no wheat fields or anything. You can't make bread, you can't make any other fillings. But I think the important part here is that you're a ball! You're a golf ball! Golf balls cannot make a sandwich by virtue of having no way to. You just kind of, like, as a ball, your only real option is just move, roll, or stop. You don't have any hands to manipulate objects with. So Golfy gets an F. Golfy gets an F. You cannot make a sandwich in Golfy. Next up we have Jump King. The jumpy game where you gotta like get to the top and save the babe. Now, I'm not exactly sure when sandwiches were invented, but I'm pretty sure they were around during medieval times. Or at least the concept of, you know, slapping two pieces of bread together in some way, shape or form, with like something in between. At least that was, I'm pretty sure that was still a concept. Now, the Jump King, yeah, he jumps, but he's also got arms, which I'm assuming are functional, even if he doesn't really use them that much. And the Jump King universe, like, okay, we don't really know a lot about it. We don't really know a lot about the Jump King universe. We know that you gotta go up, but we know that there is civilization. There is civilization, there is like different towns, there are different people just being alive. There is the babe at the top, which I'm going to assume would appreciate a good sandwich brought up to her. Because like, if she's up there for so long, she will probably get hungry by the time the scrub of a player playing the Jump King gets up to her. Like, the average Jump King playthrough is pretty long. The average Jump King playthrough, excluding the speedrunners don't count in this. The average Jump King playthrough, the average Jump King first playthrough actually, is pretty damn long. So we don't have any direct evidence of food, of sandwich making materials existing in Jump King. However, we have evidence of civilization, we have evidence of towns, we've got evidence of a marketplace with what's it called, like after you get out from the sewers, no, is it the sewers? After you get past the place after the sewers and you get to like the town where you have to do the Kobe jump. I don't remember what that's called, but there's a market trader dude there. Always with a cold, Tox. Always with a cold. There's a market selling dude. There's a merchant there. That's a market selling dude. So I'm gonna put Jump King. Like, he also has arms, so like he has, and he's also a knight, a king. Kind of like he has the money to acquire sandwich if he can't make it. Is it an A or a B? Is the question here. I'm gonna put Jump King as an A. It's very plausible. It's very plausible to be able to make a sandwich in the Jump King universe. Next up, we have Have a Nice Death. An action side-scrolling roguelite even, I think. Admittedly, I haven't played much of. However, there is a cafeteria. There is a cafeteria in that you play as Death. You play as a very bureaucratic Death who is just down with life and is now like fighting all the other bureaucrats or something. I didn't play a lot of it. I have not played a lot of this. I've beaten the first boss. That's about it. But there is a cafeteria in the game. I remember that much. And any self-respecting cafeteria, any self-respecting cafeteria will have a sandwich in some way, shape, or form. Have a Nice Death is an 8 here. Or maybe Maybe a B tier because it's technically hell, and I'm guessing I don't know how good hell cafeterias are. A, B, A, B. I'm trying to rack my brain here, trying to remember if there's anything to push an argument either way. I'll put it in B. I'll put it in B because who knows how long that sandwich has been there. Who knows how long the sandwich has been there. It is hell. It is hell at the end of the day. And next we've got Peglin, the Peglin roguelike. No, it is a roguelike. The difference between roguelike and roguelite, if you don't know by the way, is that roguelikes are you basically start fresh every time you start, whereas roguelites there is usually some progression. Like sure you start off every run with like equal opportunities, but more often like there is usually like some sort of meta upgrades, meta progression. Think Rogue Legacy for example, you can upgrade your damage and whatnot. Holocure, you can upgrade your whatever, like your damage. There's meta upgrades in roguelites. So Peglin, Peggle, roguelike. So first of all, the Peglins have arms. Second of all, there is a random encounter in the game where you meet a Peglin Chef. Now, I'm guessing if there are chefs, and there's Peglin chefs, and there's also like he's trying to blend in with all the humans, he works in a kitchen. And I'm guessing, I'm pretty sure, that any kitchen has bread. And if you have bread, you can stuff things in between them. And if there's a Peglin chef, that means there is a very highly trained Peglin able to cook. Which means you can make a damn good sandwich in the Peglin universe. You can make a damn good sandwich in the Peglin universe, so the Peglin gets an S. We have here Monster Hunter Rise. I mean, the Palico chefs. The Palico chefs. Have you seen the food they make? Have you seen the food these cats make? I play Monster Hunter games and I have to stop because I'm getting hungry. Because you have to eat. You have to eat before you go in a hunt, otherwise you're a scrub. So, not only can you make a damn good sandwich in Monster Hunter Rise, you have so many monsters. You have so many monsters. You've got so many monsters that you could actually put in bread and make a sandwich of. And then like the flora as well in Rise, like the endemic life in Rise is one of the big selling points in it, right? And like with all the ecological knowledge hunters have, it almost feels bad putting Monster Hunter Rise in, you know, just S tier. So like I'm actually gonna make an exception here and just like put this as an SSS. This is an SSS tier. Let me... Hello? Hold us up. Can you... There we go. I'll just try to block the logo a bit. Oh no. Things are not responding as they should. Things are not responding as they should. I think it's fine. I think it's fine now, so let's put it back there. And you, sir, get an SSS. Because all of the amazing monsters you can just put in a sandwich. Then we've got Trackmania, the racing game. The racing game where you play as a car. The racing game where you play as a car with no indication of humans existing or any other sort of, like, you know, sentient being. The cars in Trackmania could very well, I don't know Trackmania lore, admittedly, but as far as I know, the tracks in Trackmania could just very well be self-driving and they just do it for the fuck of it. Now, a couple of things here. A car has no way of actually manipulating any object to make a sandwich. There's also no need to eat. A car doesn't need to eat. As I said earlier, we are rating this based on the universe as a character in that universe, assuming they know what the sandwich is. And that assumption, I think we have caused our theoretical Trackmania car some sort of existential crisis, because it cannot make a sandwich. It has no need to make a sandwich. It has no materials to make a sandwich with, yet it knows what a sandwich is, and I think that's terrifying. Trackmania gets an F. Then we've got Exoblast. Exoblast is a how do you describe this? Exoblast is a cyberpunk competitive ping pong game. Pong. Just not ping pong, just like pong. A cyberpunk competitive pong game. Now, there are humans. I don't know the lore. There are humans in that, or like alien beings. They're sentient beings, some of which have arms. I'm not exactly sure if they have bread. It's very plausible for them to have bread, but I'm not sure if they do. But again, it's very plausible. They need to eat, I'm assuming. You just play Pong with, like, spaceships. Like, it's janky. It's fun for, like, maybe an hour. But it's batshit insane, and like, I love it. I haven't played this in a while. There's no real reason to play this for like longer than like an hour or two while you're just like messing around a bit. It's like one of those games where like you just kind of play once for a bit and then like just never touch. So either way, it gets a B. It gets a B. Like, it's very plausible for there to be a sandwich making method in that, but I don't think it's gonna be a good sandwich. Next up, we have Deep Rock Galactic, the co-op dwarf mining game, horde shooter, simulator, corporation-based mining contractors. So Deep Rock, you're in space. There is a bar that serves alcohol with a lot of questionable effects. I'm assuming they need to eat eventually. I've only seen the dwarves eat. No, I've only seen the dwarves drink. But I'm assuming they have to eat as well, sometime off screen. I don't know the status of bread on the space station, however. It would be fairly hard. I've not seen any hydroponics, I've not seen any way of them growing bread, I've not seen any supply ships, nor do I remember any mention of them. But dwarves have arms, they need to eat. I'm sure they get supplies from somewhere, and they eat off screen. Deep Rock Galactic also gets a B. Next up, we've got Rogue Tower, I think it's called. Rogue Tower, yes. Rogue Tower is another roguelite tower defense game that's tough as balls sometimes. Holy shit. With arguably one of the worst menus I have ever seen. one of the worst menus I have ever seen in a game. It's like mostly talking about the upgrade menu, but like a lot of the UI is like there's a lot of questionable choices. At least when I played, I don't know if it's changed now. The thing to know in Rogue Tower is that there's no... I guess... Wait, no. I was gonna say, as a player character, there is no player character. You're just like some omnipotent being building towers, trying to defend from hordes of orcs and goblins and whatever hell creatures there are. They come out of portals. Now, that indicates there's another world in the universe, but still part of the universe. And like the enemies, a lot of them, there's robots as well, but a lot of the flesh enemies, a lot of the biological enemies, they have arms. They have arms, and I'm assuming they have an Intuit. Question is now, do they have bread in the other world? Do they have bread in the other world? Because if you have bread, and that's the real bottleneck in making a sandwich. It's having bread. Because if you have bread, the filling can be whatever you want. You can make a bread sandwich even. You can make a dirt sandwich. You can make, I don't know, a grass sandwich. It doesn't matter what you fill it in. Bread is the big bottleneck of sandwiches. If you don't have bread, you can't make a sandwich. So I guess this just boils down to, is there bread in the other world? And for that, I have to go with an maybe. I don't know. And because of that, I'll actually put this in between. Let me bring it up. I'll put this in between B and F tier, because like we just have no idea. We just have no idea. We have no idea if bread is a thing in the in-between universe. If it is a thing, B tier. Because if you were dropped in that universe, you would have to go to the other world to make some bread, assuming you don't get killed on sight. Or F, because they just have no bread. It's pretty self-explanatory. This cycle frontier, a hardcore looter shooter open world kinda thing on an alien planet that kinda wants to murder you. Now obviously there's humans into it. I'm pretty sure it's only set in the far future, where we've just colonized some other place or something. I'm basing that purely on the existence of some very Russian men. I'm assuming there are plants, there are farms, there are an entire faction just based on just sciencing the hell out of the new world here, which I'm assuming goes off to foodstuffs as well. There's a lot of alien wildlife. I'll be honest, a lot of the alien wildlife doesn't look appetizing. Not the animal wildlife. Not the animal wildlife, not the biological wildlife. A lot of it wants to kill you. A lot of the plants are fairly questionable as well. I don't think you can make a very good sandwich, but I'm pretty sure you can make a fairly standard sandwich. And you can experiment. You can experiment with all new stuff. And who knows, maybe something's good, like there's some very tasty looking eggs. Which is why I'm gonna put this in between A and S. In between A and S, because like you can make a standard sandwich, but like there does exist potential to make a damn good sandwich. There does exist a very big potential of making a really good sandwich if you experiment with the alien wildlife. And the next one you can actually kind of see poking already, but Sea of Thieves. Now, you're a pirate, just sailing around the Sea of Thieves. Pirates aren't really notorious for their sandwiches. Like they will go bad fairly well. But what about the taverns in the outposts? Would they have a sandwich? I'm actually gonna have to. Did they have sandwiches in the pirate? Around the Caribbean, I guess. That's like the most notorious pirates at. So wait, did pirates eat sandwiches? Oh wait, your pirate's life was tough when it came to food as they went to the sea for a long time. For the first couple of weeks there was meat, cheese, vegetable, eggs, and things. Where is it? Bread. Okay, did they have bread on pirate ships? Bread was served up in the form of hardtack or ship's biscuit. Reasonably durable squares of flour and water dough that, after a few weeks at sea, were inevitably infested with weevils. What's weevils? I'm going down there. Oh God! Oh! I hate it! Imagine biting into bread! Imagine like looking at your bread and there's like this thing on it. I don't know the scale of this, but oh God! Oh no! Sea of Thieves, right? I'm gonna guess. Okay, they have bread. I'm guessing they had meat. Oh, yeah, like you can just hunt for fresh meat in the Sea of Thieves, and I'm guessing you can acquire some bread in the tavern off screen somewhere. But it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. B, especially if there's danger of like those weevils just showing up. Oh God. And next up, we've got Wizard of Legends. Wizard of Legends. Now, I can go on about like, alright, so roguelite game, boss rush, kind of, boss rush with dungeons in between. A deck builder, kind of a deck builder, not entirely, but your deck decides your abilities. It's an action roguelite. So I can go on about how, yeah, I'm sure wizards would be able to make a sandwich back in the day. However, the entire premise of the game is that you're at a museum, and then like you get transported back in time when like all the wizard things were happening. But like the game is just set in modern day. Like the intro of it at least, which means you can make a damn good sandwich. You can make a pretty good sandwich in the modern day. Also, remember what I said? Character in universe. Like, be able to make a sandwich in universe as a character from that universe. What character is there on Oshu other than circles and the cursor? F. Very easy F. Will you snail? I actually played this on stream a while ago. The stream is still up on the channel and there's like some clips of it on the video channel. Platforming game where an AI tries to predict your moves and stop you from platforming. Cool game, very cool game, really enjoyed it. Can you make a sandwich in it? Now the player in the game, you're in a simulation. I guess you can make a simulated sandwich, but like you're a snail. However, in the universe, there's people outside the simulation or like in another simulation. I don't exactly remember the lore. However, one of them is human. Humans have arms, humans have a need to eat, humans are in like, I guess the real world. We don't have confirmation on what the world is. We know there's like, it's a big fact. We know there's like some sort of war going on. So I'm not exactly sure on the food shortages and whatnot they would be experiencing in the game. However, I will put Will You Snail between A and B. Because we don't exactly know the state of the outside world, but depending on it, you can make a standard sandwich. Yep, do poop. Please work. Please don't crash. I'm gonna preemptively save really quick. Yeah, Photoshop just like decides it doesn't wanna work sometime. Please? There we go. Project Zomboid. Hardcore zombie sandbox survival game. I guess you can make a sandwich. Like this bread, you can grow bread, I'm pretty sure. Or like grow things to make bread with. You can just like loot around and like just find bread just lying around. I'm pretty sure there's like even a sandwich item in game. So normally that would be A tier. However, because there's a zombie apocalypse happening, I'm gonna have to put this at B tier. You can make a sandwich, but it's gonna be very hard. And probably pretty stale, especially if you loot it. Dead by Daylight. How do you even call it? Like multiplayer, like asymmetrical PvP, where you have asymmetrical objective-based PvP. This is the best way I can describe it. You've got your 4 main people, your 4 like humans, trying to disable generators so they can open up an exit or something. And then you have some supernatural killer just trying to kill them all. I'm pretty sure they've already got their hands full. Once they escape, assuming they can escape, I'm pretty sure they would be able to make a sandwich. However, escaping on the first hand is already pretty hard. More so when like the mortality rate there is very high. So I'm gonna have to put this in between B and F. Because it's very hard to actually get out and make a sandwich. Especially like after everything. So Next up we have Genshin. I think it's the only game I didn't use the official logo for obvious reasons. There's bread in Genshin, there's things in Genshin, there's like really cool materials in Genshin. You can stuff in sandwiches, in between bread even. I'm pretty sure there's like a sandwich cooking item as well. Not entirely sure. But Genshin, it's an easy yes. And you can keep sandwiches as emergency food. Or make a sandwich out of emergency food. Who knows? Vampire Survivors. The thing that inspired Holocure, the thing that inspired 20 Minutes Till Dawn, the thing that inspired a lot of games in the horde shooter, in the roguelite horde shooter genre lately. I'm not exactly sure on the lore. I'm not exactly sure if, as a character in that universe, there exists anything other than eternal fight for like half an hour and then like the Reaper just shows up and kills you. There's no evidence to support it, and there's no you know, hints towards greater civilization being at play that currently exists. Like someone had to build all the ruins, someone had to build all the chambers that people fight in right now, but there's nothing telling me that it's not just like we're not just witnessing the last 30 minutes of just like a post-apocalyptic world. So between all the hordes and the Reaper just straight up killing you, I'm gonna have to put Vampire Survivors at F. There's really like not a lot of things you can do to make a sandwich. Then we have Redactyl. It's kinda like Wordle, but it's inspired by Wordle, but there's a Wikipedia article, and you have to guess words. You can guess an unlimited amount of words, and you're only rated in like how little words you get. The win condition is either getting the title of the article or every word in the article. So 99.99999% of the time, you're really just aiming for the title of the article. If you want to get very technical, I guess you can get like the entry for sandwich in universe as a character in the universe, or like bread and like whatever like to fill it in with. I think that's a bit of a stretch though, and a Wikipedia article, if we consider that to be the character, cannot make a sandwich. A Wikipedia article cannot make a sandwich. It can be about a sandwich, which I guess would put it up to B tier, or maybe S tier. Maybe S tier, because like you're literally just describing the entire human knowledge on like sandwiches. But that's very much up for debate, and I will just put it on F tier. Unless someone has a compelling argument for putting it on S tier, or any other tier. Then we've got Final Fantasy. It used to be Shadowbringers, but I have since started playing Endwalker. So, various races, various humans, lots of food, definitely bread around, definitely farms around, and a lot of like weird creatures, weird erosion creatures to experiment, make sandwich with. I would very much love to try a Moogle sandwich. So Final Fantasy gets an S tier because of all the variety of sandwiches you can make. There's so many things you can kill to make sandwiches with. The Last Campfire. It's a puzzle game about some thing lost in some place. I don't remember a lot, but I do remember one specific area in the game where there's like a chef which is so legendary, but they don't taste their own food and they don't really season it, and then you're like, yo, maybe you should season your food. And then like, oh shit, maybe I should. And then like they become like the most legendary chef again. And yeah, I'm sure they can make a damn good sandwich. Like, you just have to find them. You like going through some puzzles and stuff. Actually, that's a point. Somewhere like mid game, and like you have in universe, like that legendary chef is a bit far away, but like I'm guessing you can make sandwiches all over the place. But instead of S, it goes down to A tier. You can make a decent sandwich. Then we've got Wordle, the thing that started the entire trend of Wordle-like games. You can't even get sandwich as a word. You can get bread as a word, though. You can get bread as a word. Does that save it from the F tier? I don't think so. So you go down to F tier, my dude. Then we've got Elden Ring. Things try to kill you all over the place. The world is shattered. Food, you don't. Do they tarnish it? Do they tarnish it? But there's more than just tarnish. But like, does anyone in that universe? Is there a lot? I'm guessing there's not a lot of food in the Shattered Realm or whatever it's called. I'm guessing there's not a lot of tasty materials left. Maybe goblin meat. Who knows? And between the endless death and everything, I think Elden Ring is a strong case for a B tier. I think Elden Ring is a strong B. Which brings us to Among Us. Among Us, as you know, the social impostor game thingy. You're in space or some space station or some airship or whatever. Like, yeah, sure, you're trying to do your tasks, but like a lot of the times you're just done with the tasks, and I don't know if there's always an imposter in universe. Like in the game, of course, we get like every case that there's an imposter on the ship. However, there does seem to be a lot of like alien shapeshifters, a lot of alien imposters in that universe. But I'm still sure you can make a sandwich, especially on the airship map, because like there's a canteen. Among Us gets a B for its danger. It's danger, and just in general. Then we've got SCP Secret Lab. Very weird game. A shooter / asymmetrical PvP, where we've got like a bunch of different factions just trying to do their objectives. You've got the D-class personnel trying to escape. You've got the scientists trying to escape, but they've got more human rights. You've got the guards who are trying to kill the D-class and kill the monsters. You've got the SCPs, the monsters I mean. You've got the SCPs who are trying to just like kill everyone. You've got the backup squads which are there to just like kill everyone remaining, and the monsters. This complete disinfected thing. There's not really a lot of time for sandwich making. But it's set in the SCP universe. But like as a character in universe, it depends on what character you are. Now like I'm like I really want to give this a B or an F, but like it's A. Like more often than not, you're afforded at the time. Like yeah, Secret Lab. It's at the point where everything goes to shit. But like we know enough about the universe to just know that like yeah, things going to shit is like fairly common, but it's not an everyday occurrence. So you are afforded enough chances to make a sandwich in that universe. So it has to go on A tier. It has to go on A tier. Then we've got 20 minutes till dawn. I actually played a demo of this called 10 minutes till dawn because it was a demo version. I played it on stream. It's a Vampire Survivor inspired horde shooter. And again, not a lot of evidence of there being much outside of, you know, just fighting and death. However, it was a demo. I don't remember if you die at the end. I did play a bit of the full version as well. And I think like if you don't go endless, I think when you win the game, you just get met with a pop-up victory screen. So based on Vampire Survivors and based on just the uncertainty of the outcome, I will have to give it somewhere in between B and F, because we're not exactly sure what's going on. And then we have Rocket League. Now you may think I'll just Rocket League, the competitive rocket-powered car football game, or soccer if you're American. You may think I may just give this an F on the virtue of being like another car game like Trackmania. However, Rocket League has lore. Rocket League has sentient life forms in the form of balls standing in the audience. So I'm actually going to give it an F because it's more similar. It's more similar to Golfy because balls don't have anything to manipulate things with. I'm not giving it an F because it's a car game. I'm giving it an F because the hidden lore of the ball people means that ball people don't have hands. And then we have Space Station 13, the role-playing sandbox, weird story generating game. It's a multiplayer thing. Oh god, the Lancer for it as well is. Oh god, oh no. Oh, I don't want to do anything with that again. Actually, no. The Lancer itself it's very old school, but it's fine. Like I'm used to it because like I used to play a lot of like weird games, weird Lancer-based games back in the day. However, just downloading the Lancer, it just looks so much like a virus. Like it's actually insane. It's so shady. Anyways. There's bread. There's bread on the space station. You can just straight up make a sandwich. You can just straight up make a sandwich in Space Station 13. So like, yeah, like the cult may cause some trouble. Yeah, like the clowns may cause some trouble. Yeah, like Cargonia may be founded and all the cargo people go on strike. A lot of stuff can go wrong in Space Station 13. However, you could very easily just make a sandwich if you wanted to. Next up, Backpack Hero, the roguelike backpack inventory management game. Also played this on stream a while ago. It was the demo version. They're currently still working on the full version. So you play as a rat, going through places. I don't remember if there's bread as a pickup. I'm trying to remember if there's bread as a pickup, but I can't remember if there's bread as a pickup. However, based on like all the characters there just being like animals of some sort, they need to eat. They've got some sort of society thing happening behind the scenes, and like even if it's all dungeon crawly and whatnot, I think you can make like an okay, maybe subpar sandwich. You can make a sandwich in some way, shape, or form. You can make something that would be described as a sandwich. So it gets a B. Valorant. Set on an alternate universe, Earth, I guess, where people have superpowers and then like they fight people, terrorism and whatever. Now, you don't really have a lot of time to make a sandwich in a mission, which is like when the gameplay happens, but like behind the scenes, just in universe. Just in universe, like you can make a sandwich. There's no reason not to make a sandwich. Like if you're hungry in between missions, like before getting deployed, like yeah, just make a sandwich. Easy enough. Then we've got Brawlhalla. A lot of like legendary people just dead and reincarnated into an eternal fighting tournament or something. It's a 2D Smash kind of thing with a twist of like having weapons and combos. It's a fighting game. And again, in a match, you probably don't have time to make a sandwich. But wherever people go off mats, I'm not exactly sure on it, so I'm gonna have to put it in between A and B. If I can just bring up the layer first. I'm gonna have to put this in between A and B. Because I'm not entirely sure on the quality of sandwiches, but like I'm not exactly sure if they go to like some cosmic tavern looking thing or if they just go back to their own time. But even then, like there's people from pretty much every time period, so like you can make a sandwich as a character in the universe in some way, shape, or form, which is why it's between A and B. Then we've got Holocure. Holocure, you kind of like similar to Vampire Survivor, similar to 20 Minutes Till Dawn. Holocure, you just kind of fight until you die. There's not really much happening other than fighting. So I'm gonna have to give it an F, because anything you do in Holocure eventually leads to death. Anything you do in Holocure eventually leads to your demise. Then we've got Tetrio, just Tetris. There's not really characters in Tetris, there's just blocks. And blocks, technically speaking, they can sandwich other blocks, but going from the definition of a sandwich of being two pieces of bread, blocks in Tetris are not made of bread. I guess they could be, but I don't think they are. I'm pretty sure they're not made out of bread. So Tetrio gets an F. And then we've got Lost Ark. It's a top-down MMO, Diablo-like looter thingy. It's got a fairly big world, like medieval setting. I'm pretty sure there are farms, I'm pretty sure there's bread, I'm pretty sure you can make a sandwich, if you knew what a sandwich was. There may even be a sandwich item in the game, who knows? But yeah, Lost Ark gets an A, because it's fairly easy to make bread. It's fairly easy to make or acquire sandwich in universe. Then we've got Deathloop. You're stuck in a time loop on an island, but still like just modern day, maybe a bit in the future. So, sure, you're in a time loop, sure, you die a lot. Haven't played too much of the game. Only played briefly a bit. I only killed like 2 or 3 visionaries, I think, which are like the main bosses. You gotta kill like 8 of them in a single day, or 9 or 10. You gotta kill all of them in a single day. That's a lot. You gotta kill all of them in a single day to eventually finish the game. I'm guessing I didn't finish the game. I don't know. But that's the gist of it. I've got to give it an A again, because like, yeah, A or B. Like, yeah, it's dangerous to, no, nah. I'll give it, you know, I can't really decide, so I'm just gonna put it in between A and B. I'm gonna put it in between A and B because I'm pretty sure you can make a sandwich. You can make a sandwich. There are materials to make a sandwich with. However, the danger combined with the time loss of actually making the sandwich, because you need to kill a lot of people in a single day. It leans a bit towards B, but like silly by ability. Without context in the game, you can just straight up make a sandwich, yes. But for all the things I mentioned, like it also leans towards B, so in between A and B. In between A and B it goes. Then we've got Satisfactory. The factory building game in an alien world. Can you make sandwich in it? Can you make bread in it? I think you can make, I'm pretty sure you can make a bread substitute based on the materials available, depending on the map as well. But it's also dangerous. It's also very dangerous and requires a lot of machinery to actually work. So you need to make a lot of machines to actually make stuff, and you need to improvise a lot as well. So by the sheer difficulty of making sandwich, I'm gonna have to put it in between B and F. It's gotta go in between B and F. And then we have Splitgate, an FPS portal shooter. It's an arena shooter, an FPS arena shooter where you can make portals. Now, don't know what goes on in between matches in universe, because in universe there's just like a lot of death. It's not presented as a game show. It's not presented as a war. It's presented entirely outside of any context whatsoever. You're just there. You're just kind of there, chilling, fighting other people, messing with space. Messing with the loss of space by making just portals all over the place. I don't know. Like, there's absolutely nothing to indicate you being able to make a sandwich, but like, I'm assuming they're humans in the suits. But a lot of times they're not. There's like, they're biological life forms, is what I'm getting at. Like, they need to eat. They need to eat something. But when do they eat? We don't know. Based on the lack of knowledge, again, I'm gonna have, similar to Rogue Tower, I'm gonna have to put it in between B and F. Because we just have no idea what goes on in between matches. We don't... Wait. Oh, my color is like very close. It's very close to being the Splitgate color. Like, look at this. Like, this is Splitgate. This is my red. Look at the minute difference in them. Like, even if you zoom in, like, you can't quite tell where one ends and one begins. Like, you can kind of visually tell, but like, oh no, oh no, Photoshop. Oh no, things are kind of breaking. So, if you look very hard, you can see that Photoshop is kind of being a bit fatty. Please let me reduce brush size. Please. Please. You can only see the work area here, but like the menu, like they're just grayed out. Please. Things aren't quite working. Photoshop son. Okay, we'll do it. Oh no, wait. Things are kind of breaking a lot more. Okay, so like if you see like at the left edge of the brush over here, this is where like they separate. But like it's very hard to tell, right? It's very hard to tell where like one color ends and the other begins. I can increase brush size with the eraser, just not the brush. Oh, now I can. That's weird. And then... Oh, and finally, actually... Damn, I thought there was more games in there. I thought it would take more time, but I guess not. We're down to the final game. Apex Legends. The Battle Royale set in the Titanfall universe, in a lawless or close to lawless side of the universe, side of the planet, side of like control system, whatever. A lot of Apex. Like, sure, in a match, no real time to make sounds, but like we've seen people outside the match in cinematics. Hell, like even like one of the latest cinematics we saw Bangalore just in a tavern. We saw Bangalore in a tavern or a bar. I'm guessing they've got sandwiches, and I'm pretty sure they've got a decent variety of them. They're like, especially prowlers. I would love to taste what a prowler. I would love to see what a prowler tastes like. I would love. Well, the bird critters. I think they may be also tasty. Maybe taste like chicken or something. I don't know. But it's chicken sandwiches. It's a cool sandwich. It's a cool sandwich. I'm pretty sure they've got bread available. So Apex Legends actually gets an A. Contrary to the thumbnail I made, sorry for the clickbait, I really thought, without really thinking about it, I really thought like Apex would just be terrible for sandwich making. There's nothing I can't, like, just in the bottom of the bucket, is there? No? Okay, so I guess this is it. I guess this is the tier list. This is all the games I've played this year based on your ability to make a sandwich in them, and I'll actually just plop an outline in all the in-betweeners. There we go. These are all the games I've played this year, rated by your ability to make a sandwich in them. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Please tell me. I think they're all alright. I know I put Sifu as an S tier because it's in the like what's it called? It's in like our world, whereas like other games set in our world, such as like Wizard of Legend, set in like an alternate universe. Oh, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. So, but actually no, like that actually gave me like a moment to think, because like a lot of other games, they're just like set in an alternate like universe Earth. They all have like some extra gimmick, whereas like Sifu is, it's little just like, hey, we've got some pantsy dudes. We've got some pantsy geeky dudes, some of which have weapons. Enjoy. You know, like the supernatural abilities and whatnot can be explained as in like just being there for effect, I guess. Not real superpowers, but you know. So yeah, Sifu is only S tier because it's the only one in our actual current day world, and our actual current day world is a damn good place to make a sandwich in. Whereas others, like, yeah, they may be in our universe, but they all are in an alternate universe very close to ours. And like, sure, you can make a sandwich in them, but who knows how good of a sandwich that is. Also, a sandwich in the Sifu art style would look absolutely insane, just saying. It's got such a cool art style, and food of any kind like in that, I'm sure it would look amazing. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. It's a bit of a shorter stream because, as I said in multiple previous streams, but this is like my last chance to fully explain this. I will also make an announcement on Twitter just sometime later. I'm moving. This is my last planned stream for July. There may be some guerrilla streams like here and there. Most if any will most likely happen this week. I don't know, I don't want to promise anything, but that is because I am moving. I am pretty much finished with uni, and whatever else I have to, everything else I have to work on, I can just do from home. So I'm stopping renting this apartment I'm living in right now and moving back to my hometown, which means there's a lot of packing happening. There's like some organizing, because like my room in my hometown is a bit of a mess because I've barely been there in like the last 4 years or so. Actually no, I was there during lockdown. I was there during lockdown for like that year and a half. But yeah, it's a bit of a mess, so like there's a lot of things to work on. So I will be taking the rest of the month off, more or less. Maybe some guerrilla streams, as I said, maybe not. Most, if any, will happen this week. Because after that, it's just full steam ahead in focusing in just like the move, getting everything packed, getting everything organized, figuring out my living situation. And I am hoping to very seamlessly start streaming again in August when I am back in my hometown. It's gonna be a bit weird because my parents are there and I'm not really used to streaming with. I hit my arm. I'm just waving my arm around, it doesn't smack it on the desk. But yeah, like I'm not really used to streaming with my parents around, so there may be some changes or whatnot. Like we recently got like an AC for like my room there, because like I do choose to keep my door closed most of the time. and that has led to a lot of hit and death. So yeah, I hope nothing changes, but there may be some minor changes. But we'll figure that out when the time comes. I am very much hoping to just seamlessly start streaming again, like starting August, because I'm moving like late July, and I'm starting patching just from this week and just organizing everything. So yeah, thank you very much for coming. I appreciate you all being here. Sorry for the shorter stream. This is where I would say I'll stream next Tuesday, but I'm not. Oh shit! It's starting to sink in now. So, anyways, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I've been Tox, your boy, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.